Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Claude Ray, Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. The two, Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Claude Ray, Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Claude Ray, Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, who will be on the show just shortly, but he's out in the neighborhood doing some benevolent stuff, helping some of the neighbors do some Christmas stuff, and he's gonna chime in shortly. But you know, first of all, I just like to sit out and thank the Boom Boom Room, the Chop Shop, I'm just grateful for so many things. I know it's Christmas Eve, and I know you got a lot of places to go in a little bit. So we're gonna make it a little bit better for your day. I'm grateful for my family, for health, for great friends among you, but I'm also thankful to the Boom Boom Room. Corey Willis, Melvin Dews, Lori Dawson, Derek Johnson, Baron Cease, John Newsom, Michael Smith, Chris Charles. I am thankful to all of y'all, man, for the support, for the Chop Shop over the year. You know, we got one more show today before I go and and hit the slopes. I go, vacationing and going to see my kids. But I want to talk about a few things before Jimmy come on, y'all. It's but I just want to let y'all know, I know we go through our whatever we go through during the season, but let me tell you something. Robert Haddett and Jim Hicks, we really appreciate y'all, and I want y'all to know the time and the care that and he's not on the show. He's not on right now, but I can talk about him, but that we put in, and he and I put in to make sure we have some fresh content and make sure we focusing on the task at hands, and it's just I'm just bubble up on the inside, and I got a couple of more things. JJ Watt is going to return for the Texans. They said a while back that he'll be able to come back on week 17. So, and I want to take this time out, y'all, right now to say happy birthday to Robert Bubba Griggs. Robert was a pillar in this community as a youth basketball coach, high school coach in the Brazosport High School. Met him a long time ago, and I thank God for him. He allowed me, he trusted me with his son, DJ Griggs, years back as a young 8th, 9th grader. Trusted him to me. I was one of the facilitators along with Coach Terrell Henderson and Alan Branch over the Franchise All-Stars. What happened a long time ago, we started this summer basketball program called the Franchise All-Stars. And what it was to me, I was trying to, I had this dilemma. I was hearing kids talking about, we want to play for this team. We want to play for this team. And I just wanted to provide a vehicle where kids wouldn't have to go beg to play on the EYB. I'm not the EYB, for the Houston Hoops or another team. So I said, well, look here, let me create the same environment. Let me make sure they furnish with all the tennis shoes and whatever they need, the great travel, what else? Going to all the top tournaments. We had John Henson on our team, Kelly, Ray Turner, Pee Wee from Yates, Darius Gardner, Jonathan Evans from. We had an array of the top division, all Division I college kids on our team. And DJ Griggs and Winston Shepard were two young guys, and their parents allowed me to, entrusted me with them. And so Bubba Griggs and his wife Trish Griggs, they allowed me to have DJ Griggs on my team as a young 9th grader, playing on a 17 under team, traveling around the country. But guess what? I traveled with him because I had an 8-year-old son on the team. 8th grade son on the team. And so I traveled around with him, just to make sure, I was the chaperone to make sure everything was good. D'Angelo Harrison. I'm sorry, D'Angelo, don't kill me. Alex Davis played for Yates on that national championship team. Don't tell Alex, but I'm choked up inside right now, y'all, because y'all got to realize, I know y'all people, they mess with me and laugh at me about my affinity and my love for Bryce Griggs. And y'all got to understand, I'm just not cheering for a basketball player. I'm cheering for a young man who I knew was a little kid, and he was always running out on the court. We had to run him off the court so we can practice our team. So, but happy birthday, Bubba. Man, love you to death. and we here as a community, and I promise you that we're going to take care of your family. We're going to take care of your family. Now, I hope we understand that's what's going on today. And I got to, and I would be remiss, because they tell me when you know better, you do better. You know, I was, I had a friends of mine that been posting on Facebook about their trip to Ghana, and somebody mentioned to me the year 1619. I'm gonna tell you, as a grown man, I didn't know what the year 1619 was. And it kind of got to me because I am, when I don't know something, I am going to try to figure it out. But 1619 was the year the first slave ship docked on American soil. And it's 400 years later, so a lot of people are going back to Ghana to commemorate it, the return. It's called a year of return in Ghana. 1619 is 2019 now. Anthony Weston, follow me with this because I've had a crash course on it. So if let me tell you something. If I'm off a little bit, my heart is in the right place. So and I didn't learn this in school. Went to school in Memphis, University of Memphis. I didn't learn this, and now 1619, I just want to be able to, I want to be able to, you talk about it a little bit. And it was so critical. And I want to share it with you for a minute. It's so critical because I'm trying to call and click Jimmy in as we speak, but we're going to talk as I click him in. It was okay, he's about to come in. Jimmy, you're already on the show, and I'm talking. I like your red hat. Let me bring you in, and let me share with you. Look at you. Thank God we got you. But let me share a little bit before Jimmy gets on, y'all. I got this on my heart, and I want to share this with you because I didn't know about it. The year 1619. I want to share it with you. Now, Jimmy, you're here. Okay. It was so critical to learn that, I wrote this the other day, that 400 years ago this year, the first slave ship left the shores of Africa and set sail to take us from being free to being enslaved. And when you leave out of that slave castle, because some friends of mine went over there, it's the slave castle in Guyana, Jimmy. There's a sign for all the slaves to read when they come out of that door. And over that door, it says the door of no return, saying they would never be able to come home, to never experience the level of freedom again in their lives. And think about this, Jimmy. And 400 years later, for us, because I'm planning a trip, to be able to fly back over there on a first class ticket is really a revolutionary act unto itself. And it defies history, even colonialism, to say that freedom is still available, to say these are the prayers of our ancestors, Jimmy, who were on those slave ships. Just saying, one day, Jimmy, Sandra, Robert, we can fly back over there on first class tickets to this place. The point, and guess what they got, Jimmy, on the other side of the door of no return? Now they put up a new plaque, said "Welcome back home." So a lot of people came back to Ghana to commemorate 400 years. And Jimmy, let me just explain some of the stuff that I've learned. Just another paragraph, some stuff that I learned. They lived in these dungeons, about 1,000 in a room, y'all. Y'all got to picture this, before they came on the ships. And in order to get out of the castle, they had to crawl through a little space one at a time to reach the edge before they go to the ship. And that's where that door said, the door of no return. They have it's it's a moment, Jimmy, that touched me. That me being a grown man, I didn't realize, I didn't know what the year 1619 is, and I just wanted to share it because it might be some of you that don't know about that year 1619. And I learned a lot about it when I went to the Smithsonian, Institute in DC, Jimmy. And it just touched my heart. It's just, just learning the history. And Jimmy, they got if you go look up a podcast called 1619, a young black lady for the New York Times, she penned a whole podcast telling you about the history. Y'all, it will teach you a lot about what's going on now. When you know your history, Jimmy, that's why I always tell people, when you know your history, you're prone not to, and the things, the mistakes you made, you're prone not to let these people put you in these same mistakes, situations again. So I thank for y'all to give me that time. Now we can talk about sports. What you got, Jimmy?
Man, this is the last show of the week, guys. Of course, tomorrow being the Christmas, and we're going to take off on Thursday to get our legs back up under us. And so let's treat this as though it's a baby. This is Tuesday, December the 24th. I want to wish you guys a happy holidays, in every sense of the word. Now, we're going to go in our mailbag this afternoon.
Uh-oh.
We haven't been in our mailbag in a few days. A lot of people have been emailing us questions and to address about recruiting and about college basketball and NBA stuff. We're going to go in the mailbag. But first, let's get some order of business out the way. And that is, we're going to talk NFL first. Let's get some NFL business out the way. How about first, give props to the Green Bay Packers for taking care of their business over Minnesota last night and clinching the NFC North. Uh-huh. That means there is only one spot left in the NFC. Only one spot left. 6 teams make the playoffs. Already clinched their ticket. Green Bay Packers. Minnesota Vikings earned a wild card with the loss last night. New Orleans Saints, and of course the San Francisco 49ers and Seattle are the fourth and fifth teams. This last spot will go to either the Dallas Cowboys or the Philadelphia Eagles. Their fate will be told this weekend. So yes, the Dallas Cowboys, whoever wins that division gets an automatic bid.
So the loser's out? The loser's out. Yes, the loser's out.
They don't play each other. They just played each other this week, Hal.
No. But I'm talking about whoever loses going to be out of the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be on this weekend. And in the AFC, of course, Baltimore is the top seed, and Baltimore has announced they're going to sit about 5 players, at least 5 players, starters, will not play this weekend when they play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers is fighting for a playoff spot. So is some people crying foul as though Baltimore is giving the Pittsburgh an easier pass to advance to a wild card spot? I mean, you 2 games up. This ain't nothing to do with Pittsburgh. It's got to do with your starters. Your star running back got hurt. Your quarterback took a lick that he wasn't supposed to take. If his wide receiver would have picked up that block. You see Jackson go around that right side, and the guy put them shoulder pads right in his chest. That could have been a scary thing. So that was a wake-up call. Sit down for a week, rest.
But I told you they wasn't going to let him play. I told you that yesterday.
No, it's not just him. It's just an abundance of them now.
I know, but I'm talking about him.
So they're not doing low. Yeah, but I'm talking about, but still, yeah, you're talking about him, but it's about 5 players total that's not going to play.
I know, but those other 5 players are not MVP. That the point I was trying to make.
They're Pro Bowlers. Huh? They're Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, but Jimmy, I said MVP. They're not.
So that means they're MVP in their own position. They're star in their role. But anyway, of course, New England, Buffalo. We mentioned Baltimore. The Texans has clinched the spot. Kansas City is the 5th spot, and The sixth spot will be decided this weekend. Possibly Pittsburgh Steelers, possibly the Tennessee Titans. One of those teams will probably get the nod. And I think the Indianapolis Colts may be mathematically not eliminated, and they may have a shot. But anyway, that's on the football side of the fence. Also, another piece of football. How about Seattle they lost both running backs last Sunday. Both running backs suffered season-ending injuries. So guess what they do? They went and added a dose of spice to their offense. I mean, understand, it's the thought that count. They went and brought back Beast Mode. Beast Mode is back with Seattle. And his contract is only for this year, only for the last regular season game and the postseason. And guess what? He and the other running back both played with this organization before. Both of them played it, so they're no strangers to the scheme or to the offense and to the coaches. For the most part, is this a smart move for Seattle?
I think it's a great move. I'm sitting up here trying to queue up one of my other computers. Hey, I think it's a great move, Jimmy. And what's so ironic about it? Just I think a couple of weeks ago, about 8 days ago, Jimmy, Marshawn Lynch was serving tequila shots in the parking lot in the tailgate of the Oakland Raiders last game there. It was, yes. Now he's going to start for Seattle in the playoff. That's a legend for you, man. Think about Jimmy. Just like, they brought all the guys back. Charles Woodson them got back. So, they're going to tell me all the little tidbits. But, yeah, he was out there shot, like y'all be doing. You know how you be doing. Like you would get, Jimmy, hold on. I got another video of you, Jimmy. I didn't know you got up on that other table, that other bar in on your birthday, on the bar in the other. Jimmy, your birthday don't owe you nothing. That's all I'm gonna tell you right now. Your birthday a month ago don't owe you nothing. But back to beast mode. You were beast mode that day. You were beast mode. But I think that's Jimmy, they need him. Where else can you find somebody who knows the system, knows everything about it, and you can go find? Because guess what? Good running backs just not going to be on the street on week 17. So guess what? I think it was a great move by him. And I love it.
And they say claims are that Beast Mode has indeed been remaining in shape this season, although he hadn't played, right? But they say he's been in shape and been working out. And you got to realize,
we'll need but a couple of games, Jim.
That's what I'm about to say. Think about it. His total carries at the over and under, he would get probably 10 carries. The over and under.
And Melvin Dukes, thank you, Melvin. This from Melvin Dukes now, not my words, but he said Lynch took some visits to the Seahawks a few weeks back when Rashad Penny got hurt. So it was they kind of saw this coming.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, Derek Johnson just brought up one of my favorite names that you just dissed me last year about. Where's C.J. Anderson, who led the Rams to the playoffs last year? Where's C.J.? You remember you talking about C.J.?
I asked you that a year ago. I asked you that. Tell me, where is he, Hal? Where is he?
Back on the couch. You remember they took him off the couch last year. Maybe he's back on the couch. I don't know.
I mean, I know early in the season he was with the Detroit Lions. And I hadn't heard nothing about the Detroit Lions all year, but he was with them earlier in the beginning of the season. I do remember that. Where is C.J. Anderson? That means they were willing to tell you like this. Seattle said, you know what? I'm willing to bring a guy off the street, serving tequila shots in the parking lot, tailgating, to come and play starting running back for us than to go and get a guy.
But excuse me, Jamie, just not no regular guy. Beast Mode ain't no regular guy off the street. He been drinking tequila probably all his adult life. And Jimmy, I got a video from him in high school. I have got to show that to y'all. So keep talking. I'm trying to find it right quick. In high school, what he said about his offensive lineman. It's unbelievable. But keep talking.
Yeah, and of course that's pretty much the news and most of the gist of the NFL news. Now we slide, keep it football for a second. I want to let you know, I guess, if anybody been paying attention to the college bowls,
To who?
the bowls, the bowl season. It's in NCAA.
Oh, the college. The
Has
bowls.
anybody been paying attention to the bowl season?
A little bit. A little bit.
I mean,
You didn't even understand that the guys get here a week before the bowl get there. You think the guys get there on the day before.
No, I didn't say the day before. I said about 3-4 days. I thought they got there. If the game was on the Saturday, then they thought they would have got there on that Wednesday night, Thursday morning. But in this situation with bowls, we learned there are players that were here for the Texas Bowl. Is that what it's called? It used to be the Blue Bunny Bowl.
Advocate, yeah, some bowl. I forgot. Some bowl. Yeah.
It's a Texas Bowl. It's a
Texas Bowl now. It used to be the Advocate Bowl, I remember.
It used to be the Advocate, and before then it was the Blue Bunny Bowl.
Okay. Oh, that was a long time ago.
And those teams, Oklahoma State and Texas A&M players are already in town. And the Galleria, is one of the things I guess about H-Town. That Galleria was definitely on point. We were in the Galleria last night, and somebody walked up to us and say, "Y'all about to do a chop shop."
Right here in the middle of the thing, yeah. And Jimmy, I was so shocked. I didn't even shake the man's name and ask for his name, man. I was so shocked that he said it to us. Man, we should have said something to the guy. I mean, a little bit more than that. We just, we should have said a little bit more. You was a little bougie. You was acting a little bit bougie that day, yesterday. Yeah.
No, I mean, I wasn't bougie. I was tired. that's what it was. I spoke and they're like, no, it ain't happening right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, of course, in bowl action coming up on Thursday, there's no games today. There's none, obviously, on Wednesday. But on Thursday, Miami and Louisiana Tech will play in Shreveport at the Independence Bowl. Pittsburgh and Eastern Michigan, North Carolina and Temple will play on Friday. There are several games on Friday, including this Oklahoma State and Texas A&M game, which I think that game would be pretty interesting, to say the least. The weather in Houston is back in the 70s, y'all.
Oh, yes, sir.
This is going to be a good warm holiday week.
I might go hit that golf ball as soon as I get off. I might go hit that golf ball. I tell you what, who want to go hit the golf ball right after 2 o'clock is on me. Who want to go hit the golf? It can't be but 3 of y'all because we're going to have a foursome. I got your green fees. Y'all hanging with me right after the show. Now, let me know. So what else you got, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm looking in, of course, December. Remember now, the NCAA semifinals is going to take place this weekend on the December the 28th. LSU and Oklahoma will play at 3 o'clock.
Jim, can I help you out, Jim?
Yeah.
They don't call it NCAA football. The FBC series.
Well, it's separate.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, they don't call themselves. They don't even want you calling them. I'm just telling you.
Let one of them commit a violation and watch who gonna come see him.
Well, that's the policing arm, the NCAA. But they don't have nothing to do with them. That somebody told me that when I said it.
No, it don't have anything to do with us. It's a separate arm, but it's still governed by the NCAA.
Okay.
Now, what are they? And so and for marketing and naming rights, which they request that you don't acknowledge it as that. But guess what? We can call it what we want to call it. Chop shop. Chop it up.
Okay.
They ain't paying us no. They ain't paying us none of them royalties to not call it that. So, but anyway, the semifinals: Oklahoma and LSU, 3 p.m. and that's on the December the 28th. And that evening, 7 p.m. Ohio State and Clemson.
Who you want to win them, James? I want Jalen Hurts to win.
LSU, Clemson.
I want Jalen Hurts to beat Burrow.
Yeah, without them two players.
I still want him to beat him.
Okay.
I'm just with my heart. Not my head. This is my heart talking right now.
I'm not anti Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts win, that'll be a great story. That would be great for the story. But I'm just thinking as far as the power and of LSU and knowing that LSU was they inserted themselves into a place in my heart back in 2001, 2002, and guess what? It's a lifelong relationship, money well spent. So shout out to LSU. I'm down with them. Like you down with Memphis, I'm down with LSU.
But hold, excuse me, Jimmy. I went to Memphis, Jimmy. You can't be down with nobody you ain't went to. You supposed to be down with TSU. Come on, man. You ain't took a class at LSU.
You ain't took a class at Cornell.
My son went to, excuse me, hold up. A lot of my money went to Cornell. Now, how about that?
Guess what?
He might be listening right now. A lot of my money went to Cornell. How about that?
Hold up. A kid that was like my son with LSU.
Hey, Jimmy, I got receipts. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay. I got receipts, though.
They don't want my receipts. They don't. So, but anyway, guys, shout out to B Scott. I see you out there, B Scott, and she's on the feed right now. She say her golf shorts don't fit anymore. See, I'm not being ready for. I hate not being ready for an opportunity. I'm about some skorts. I
just want to know. I want to know why they don't fit no more, B Scott. Since you throw it out there, why they don't fit no more?
Sweet potato pie, mashed potato. Cue up the whole Shirley Caesar song.
Hey, Jimmy, mine's getting a little snug too, so I can't say nothing. Mine is getting a little snug myself. Yeah.
Now, in NCAA, we talked about a little bit about football. NCAA basketball.
Okay.
All right. We slide up. We're going around the horn, or we go in the mailbag.
Yeah, let's go around the horn.
NCAA basketball, guys. How about this? How about New Mexico has suspended Carlton Bragg and J.J. Caldwell? Where you remember these names from? Carlton Bragg, remember he played at Kansas.
That's right.
He was an All-American. Right? Transfers over to New Mexico. J.J. Caldwell was a starter at Texas A&M. Right? Got kicked off the team. J.J. Caldwell was a name that's supposed to have been one of the players that was heavily relied on to save the program from that at the time of demise. Well, they're at New Mexico, and both were doing well, but suspended indefinitely. Those are key. When you see the words indefinitely, that means you really messed up.
So it definitely means until I said, man, until I say so.
Yeah. That means you really messed up. That's what that means.
Jimmy, what could they have done? Tell me what could they have done?
Been drugs.
Well, he been doing drugs.
Well, put it like this. To be suspended indefinitely, it's all likelihood that whatever they did, it would not necessarily be limited or restricted to violating team policy. It would probably flirt with breaking the law at this juncture. And come on, man. JJ, if somebody out there, if you know JJ Caldwell, he's one of those kids that had a hard life. Adopted by a family, kind of like The Blind Side. Took him in. Had problems in school, in high school. Cypress Woods High School. And then decided to go the homeschool route. Went the homeschool route and go to Texas A&M. Find out he didn't get deemed eligible by the NCAA. Had to sit out.
Didn't you write something about this kid?
Oh, absolutely.
And that kid had a rebuttal, a retort to what you said
on social media. I was on the front end of the news of breaking the news that this kid was not going to be ruled eligible, or they are likely not to be ruled eligible. And he replied that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. And nobody stopped it.
Now that's the issue.
See,
But
nobody
Jimmy,
stopped it. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
Jimmy.
But then he got ruled not eligible about a month later. And at that time, people know I had heavy plugs in the NCAA at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Three, 4 different ways, dude, in 3, 4 different offices.
And all of them got fired, y'all. All the Jimmy friends that ran out of there.
No, not got all of them ain't get fired. One got fired, one got fired, one got promoted, and the other one took a job in the NBA. That ain't fired.
Okay. Okay.
But you know, I mean, here's the thing. It's not the end of the world. Once again, we hear situations about kids get kicked off or get suspended. It's not the end of the world. It's still an opportunity.
But Jimmy, how many chances did he get? He got kicked out of one school, now getting kicked out of this one. Probably get kicked out. And I know you said it's not the end of the world. So what should there be an intervention here? Also, you know, it's intervention week. You know, Antonio Brown and a lot of these guys. It's an intervention year. So when is, and I know we never give up on them, you know, and I understand that. Even the young man, I saw what they was talking about, the young man, even Zach Evans. We're not going to give up on them. But Jimmy, in this world, either you're progressing or you're getting worse. You just don't say this. You don't stay the same. So we got to figure out, you know, because I don't know him. That's this one kid, and I'm gonna do Jimmy a better job. That's why, if you notice, I show up at events that people think, why are you here? And I show up at a lot of your events. I don't have to be at them events, but I want to be able to shake some of these kids and these parents' hands, so at least I can use some of the knowledge that I've had over the years, and see, can I impart some wisdom into the some of these kids. I've never ever even shook or even spoke to this kid ever in my life, and you know, because I never followed his summer team. I saw him at your event a couple of times. I think at you had what's that, Ruck on the Wood, long time ago. I think he was there. But this is one kid I've never had the chance to shake hands. That's why I love the fact that I'm going to be able to touch a guy like Kyron Drones and his family. I'm going to be able to touch a guy, all the players at Hightower, because I'm around that program a lot. So when I'm me personally, I'm going to do a better job. You know, Jimmy, that's why he's talking about you and I didn't stop. I should have stopped that gentleman yesterday because he watched the shop, and I was just so surprised when he said he spoke to me and you. I should have stopped and said, man, how you doing? What's your name? And I didn't. I'm going to do a better job because maybe, you know, and I'm not saying I can save the world, but, you know, I just hate I'd never spoken and had words to ever say to a J.J. Caldwell before. That's all.
Well, I mean, right now you got time to sit down and think and put it all together. But yes, right. It's how many chances does he get? You ask. He gets as many as some people deem his talent is greater than.
I got
so
you.
If they deem his talent is greater than their problem, somebody else will give him another chance. Just think about it. And so that means you're going to get opportunities. But the thing is, it won't be at the schools that was part of your blueprint when you came out of high school.
Yeah.
When you initially said you or got kicked out of the team at Texas A&M. In his mind, he possibly thought that just an abundance of Power 5 schools would have been embracing him to come with open arms. Think about it. And reality hits you right in the head. When Carden Bragg said he was leaving Kansas, he probably thought that it would be a piece of cake. Him to just go and name his school. And they're going to welcome you with an open arms. It don't work like that. It's on to the next. After they're done with you, and this is how the game goes.
Jimmy, and that need to be said and repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated parents, these people will move on from you. Jimmy, I just got word from what's the kid the guy at, no, he's not a kid, a grown man at not Miami, who got kicked off the team, been suspended. See, he's so Jimmy Butler's team, the basketball player.
You're talking about Dion Waiters?
Dion Waiters. Jimmy, the NBA is about to move on from this young man. I got word the NBA is about his blatant disrespect. It's just a blatant disrespect to an organization, a powerful organization, a powerful man, Pat Riley. Jimmy, the NBA is contemplating right now moving on from this guy. Young man, too.
Guess what? The problem is greater than the talent.
Yes. Yes.
J.R. Smith, the problem was greater than the talent.
Moved on.
Right? At the time, they collectively, people thought, and guess what? And sometimes they get it wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get it wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Case in point, Carmelo Anthony. They got it wrong.
Yes.
The worst thing that could have happened for him to come back and win Player of the Week, to come back and excel in that role.
But Jimmy, they didn't move on from him. Portland wanted him all the time. He shunned Portland. You got to remember that. He shunned Portland. Damian Lillard and them wanted him all the time before Houston, even before OKC. He shunned Portland. That's why he went back to Portland, because Portland always wanted him.
No, that was before Houston. They pulled back and was idle.
No, but I'm saying they always wanted him.
They always wanted him, but then we're not talking about before. Everybody wanted Carmelo.
But they didn't move on. They didn't move on from it. See,
but they just turned the fire off. They didn't have the fire on, but they didn't put him in the refrigerator. So he did not get an opportunity. It was a movement, and that was the closest thing to a total blackball. What was happening to Carmelo Anthony, and guess what?
Coach, it's not a book. All you got, and don't we teach the kids? You don't need but one college to like you. You don't need but one guy to like you. If one guy like you, it's not a blackball.
It's not liking you to move on you and offer you. He sit out the entire season.
Jimmy, they wanted him. He turned them down.
No, that was before, Hannah.
No, but still, that still happened.
Yeah, but that was before. Okay, put it like this. There are some teams that wanted Antonio Brown, that wanted him before he went to New England. They wanted him the week after he left New England. But right now, some of them teams, the boss man, they still may want Antonio Brown. But guess what? The boss man up top say, no. You can want him all you want to. He ain't putting on my uniform.
No. We haven't finished investigating this case yet. They haven't finished. They haven't completed the investigation of the case yet. So he can't play with a team right now.
I didn't say play with a team. I said there are some teams that may have wanted him that can't take him. Some coaches on the staff that may have wanted. Put like let me.
Hey Jimmy, I think those two different situations, but you can have your point on it. I'm not going to try to change it. I just know for a fact that Portland always wanted Melo all the time.
Why didn't Portland sign him last
Because
season?
he shunned them.
He shunned them before coming to the
Yeah, but they made him sweat. That's just like a girl. That's like a girl to turn you down a million times.
No,
but see, you might just go back to it.
Let me explain to you why.
I would make a sweat.
Let me explain to you why Portland came to him now. Because of Rodney Hood got hurt for the year. That's the reason now. They didn't think they had a need for him. They still liked him.
Jimmy.
They didn't have a need
Jimmy,
for
they
him.
could have went to the G League, Jimmy, got some guys, Jimmy.
They
didn't have to get him.
No. They liked him. Then they decided to move him because the opportunity was there. Rodney Hood got hurt for the year.
So he wasn't blackballed. That's all I'm trying to say. He wasn't blackballed. He wasn't blackballed.
That was a mild. That's about
No.
as close. I just said, Hatter. That was as close to a black ball that you would see. That's my exact words. That's as close as you're going to get to a black ball in the NBA. Because Adam Silver is different from the NFL. That's the closest that you're going to see in that situation. People ain't going to move. They knew this guy was staying in shape. So now, saying beast mode. Seattle liked beast mode. That's some other teams could have took beast mode. The Texans could have took him. Why the Texans ain't go off him? They went and got Dookie Johnson. Are you serious?
No. Duke Johnson is a million years younger than he is, Jimmy. Jimmy, running back. Yeah, Duke Johnson is a. Have you been watching you don't watch the Texans. Coach Duke Johnson is a player, Doc. His name ain't Dookie, it's Duke.
I'm calling him Dookie.
No, he's not Dookie. Jimmy, his team is leading. Hey, man, come on. You done had your eggnog too quick. Where your cup at? You done had your eggnog. You done had a little too much. I knew when you had on that hat.
Beast Mode went to 2 Super Bowls.
I knew,
was all pro.
I knew when you put on that hat that it was going to be some mess today. I already knew. Okay. All right.
This hat right here, boy, this make you cut your Curtis Mayfield on right here, boy. You start playing some Curtis Mayfield, some Dolomite. With this right here, this going to take you back in the 70s.
That man
right
said
here.
Dookie Johnson. Wow.
Boy, really, dude. Now, of course, I also want to look and remind you guys on rcssports.com. Today is Tuesday, which means the weekly list of the weekly college freshman report is published by Doug Jones in the VIP news. What is that? That's the list, whereas gives you an update on a lot of the freshmen from Greater Houston and how they're performing amongst the college ranks. And so I'm looking now at the list. Guess what? Tip my lid to some of these freshmen. First and foremost, which freshman is playing the most minutes? Adam, the averaging the most minutes per game.
I'm not looking at it right now, man. I'm doing something. My bad, man. I'm not looking at it.
Jordan Adams, remember from Silsbee High School, he's averaging 31.8 minutes per game. Jordan Adams, 31 minutes per game. Man, shout out to him. This means, and not just 31 minutes. He's averaging 15 points a game for Austin Peay. This kid right here, that means he picked the right school. He's maximizing this. If you had to ask a person, you only play 20 minutes per half in college. If you're averaging 31, around approximately 32 minutes a game, that means you're playing 16 of those 20 minutes per half. You're averaging 7.5 points per half, 15 a game. Jordan Adams, he's proven a lot of people wrong.
What you mean? He proving a lot of people wrong. He just went to the right school. Who he proving wrong?
Well, remember now he was committed to Baylor.
Okay.
And then when he pulled out of that commitment and was waiting on something compatible, it did not surface. Then people began to along that time the next season, that was after the sophomore season, in 11th grade, it started to just go like that. Then he played summer basketball with Nike Pro Skills out of Dallas, and did not have a good summer.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out who he proved wrong.
So then people began to pile on. You know how it is when you leave one summer program, go to another summer program. Then the first one that you left, they will claim that you ain't good as people think. You may be overrated. In the final year, Jordan Adams gets eliminated, and the Silsbee Tigers get eliminated by Yates last season, and he doesn't make it to the state tournament again. So then it's another brick on the shoulder.
What did you say about it?
With Jordan? Just at what point? At the beginning or at the end?
While these guys were talking, what were you saying?
Well, at that time I say, Austin Peay is a good charge for him.
Okay. And guess what? He went to a place where he knew he could play. And I just shout out to him. I said, another young kid I don't know. I'm proud of him. I thank Jordan. Great job, young man. And and I hope a lot of other kids follow suit. Baylor, what if he went to Baylor and it didn't work out for him? He went to a place that, guess what? And it wasn't guaranteed that he was going to do all of this at Austin Peay, Jimmy. But guess what? He went there and made the best out of a situation. And guess what? You know, y'all always said, maybe it was the right fit.
I mean, but you don't know till it's too.
I know. You don't know.
It's a gamble that everybody's takes. Now, the thing is, we're talking about Jordan Adams, a young man from Silsbee High School, 31 minutes a game as a freshman, and he's in the starting lineup at Austin Peay. And guess what? We're applauding him for because as a parent, as a player, the most important statistic to especially to the parents and the kid alike is minutes per game. That MPG, that means you getting the opportunity. Now, what you do with that opportunity is going to determine the fate of you as a sophomore or junior or whatever the next season may be. That's going to determine your productivity, the output per minute. But if you got the minute, then you have the opportunity. And this young man is maximizing opportunity. Another guy maximizing opportunity and that is Xavier Wheeler.
Oh, my goodness.
At University of Georgia.
He's my
coming
goodness.
Off bench and averaging 26, almost 27 minutes a game.
Jimmy, the unique thing about his, see, that's what numbers won't tell you. This young kid is finishing the game. None of those stats can tell you that. But this young man, Xavier Wheeler, is finishing the game as a freshman. That's one of the most key things that in a diminutive point guard, and he just, I love him. I love him as a college player. Right
I mean, seriously. I mean, and speaking of Xavier Wheeler, he was just named the SEC's
Freshman of the Week. Yes.
In case you missed it this past weekend, Xavier Wheeler went head-to-head with Kendrick Davis. Georgia played SMU.
Hit the shot at the buzzer to win the game.
Before the end, hit the shot at the buzzer to go into overtime. To end the first overtime.
Big time players make big time plays.
Two buzzer beaters. One to tie it up and another one to win it.
Unbelievable.
While being guarded both times by Kendrick Davis. And so this right here, I mean, and Georgia got
Kendrick was supposed to have help on that play now. I'm just supposed to have help.
Let me tell you something. When the closing seconds,
supposed to have help.
If that's the case, every play out there's supposed to have help.
That's right.
You got to keep that guy in front of you.
That's what we teach in basketball. Because you're not. Let me tell you something, Jimmy. A good point guard is not even worried about the player in front of him. He know he's gonna beat him. He got to look for the next guy. In basketball, a good point guard ain't even worried about. I don't care how good Patrick Beverley, the defensive player. A good point guard ain't thinking about. You gotta have help when you got a good point guard. I don't care, Jimmy, because he know where he going with the ball. Sometimes our Mike can't stay, and guess what? All he needed was that little sliver. Kendrick was there. He played good defense, but guess what? Xavier just made a better offensive play. That's all. Good offense beat good defense to me. That's my opinion. Because I don't know nothing about basketball.
Some people slide.
I don't know nothing about it that much.
Some people on defense have the ability to have reaction times to slide their feet a little bit faster.
It's not gonna happen 40 minutes in a game. It's not possible. It's not, Jimmy. It's not possible. I don't care what you say. It's not possible.
No, it's not possible 40 minutes, but it's possible for the last play of the game. No, that's when it all boils down.
A lot of time it ain't possible for that.
Dude. Once again, I just said some players have the ability to slide their feet a little bit faster. That's the truth.
Okay. Some players can slide their feet
faster than others.
Hey, it's a lot of people in the G League sliding the hell out of their damn feet. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of players over there at Home Depot, working at Home Depot, can slide their feet. That is not what I'm talking about right now. You saying that he beat Kendrick Davis off the dribble, Jimmy, that's possible. And you saying he got to be able to stay in front of him. It's not, no.
Understand one thing. Understand, if you understand the scout, and you say you're playing defense against a guy, and it's the last play of the game, you're coming out of a timeout. Come on. And this guy you're playing defense against is only hitting about 22% from three-point land, right? But he's leading in assists. He's known as a driving dish guy. Mm-hmm. He's the shortest kid on the court, right? The shortest kid on the court. Would you rather him, and he's quick at going around, especially to the left side. And if you let him go left, or would you rather him back off him one step and let him
Jimmy, that's a different situation. Now you talking about situation. Because if it was me, I would have fouled him because he's shooting 60% from the goddamn free throw line.
What he's shooting from the 3-point line? What he's shooting from the 3-point line?
I don't know what he's shooting from the three. I'm talking about from the free throw line. I would have just fouled him then.
Oh, you're not going to foul a kid with the
Jimmy, he's shooting. He's terrible from the free throw line.
Dude. Once again, if you're guarding,
I would have fouled him instead of letting him go for the layup. Duh.
Hell no, ain't nowhere in the hell you're gonna foul. You're gonna put somebody on the free throw line on purpose at the game
Jimmy,
time.
I said before I let him go around me and let him have a wide open layup, I would have fouled him. I ain't talking about you. You ain't never played. I'm talking about the guys who I would have.
You keep him in front of you, or you make him go lead that right
hand. Sometimes you can't keep him in front of you.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Man, let's move on to the next up. Hey, let's move on to the next kid. Let's move on to the next kid.
That means you backing off of him. You giving him a wide open shot. I'm daring you to beat him with that jump shot.
Jim, let's move on to the next up.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me explain something to you guys. And this is understand something. If everybody who played basketball was a Hall of Famer, think about it like this. If they were the most knowledgeable of the basketball, then everybody on every coaching staff, everybody on every coaching staff would be a Hall of Famer, and from the front office all the way down to the bottom.
And guys who, excuse me, so if they're not Hall of Famers, surely people who never did it and never did any of this thing, who don't coach in high school, who don't coach in college, who don't coach in the pros, maybe they don't know that much either. So guess what? I'm going to help you out, Jimmy. Jimmy, don't nobody know everything about basketball.
No, we ain't talking about everything. We're talking about being qualified.
Excuse me. Everybody ain't even qualified to talk about basketball.
Dude, okay, so why is it more people in front office now who've never played the game at a college or pro level? There are more in the history of the NBA that are.
Look who's hiring them. Hold on. Look who's hiring them.
Hold on. And it's working. It's working for them. It's working for them. Because most teams are making more money and doing more than they ever did before in the sport. Generating more revenue. They're being more creative.
I just said, let's move on to the next subject, because that little stuff you just said was terrible. So let's move on to the next subject. Unless you got another one, that one don't fly.
No, that do work.
That one don't work. That one don't work. That won't work. That won't work.
You ain't
All I'm telling you is, let's move on. Who's the next kid?
See, that's how some people guys.
Let's just move on. It's all right. Excuse me, Jimmy. This Christmas, after this show off today, I'm not going to think about this mess. So let's move on to the next
that's all
guy.
I think about, because it affects me. That's why. It don't
How does Savell Wheeler, hold up, how does Kendrick Davis not guard him affect you?
Because my opinion from a guy who never played the game past high school, that means.
How does that affect your bottom line?
It affects it a lot, because if more people don't believe in what I say, then more people not going to tune in.
Okay. I got something for you.
More people not going to buy in.
I got something for you.
It affects the bottom line.
Did you in your book, I put it up for you. Did you say Kendrick Davis was a defensive stopper in your book?
Kendrick Davis, this is a high school magazine. Kendrick Davis' name is not in there on a high school magazine.
But your opinion matters, Mr. Opinion. You just put your book up here.
It
You
said
say
about
your
the bottom
opinion
line.
matter.
You asked me, does my opinion, what does that have to do with my bottom line? And you say, does it affect your bottom line? I say, hell yeah, it does.
All I'm telling you is, did you say, and I asked you a question, give me an answer. Did you say in your book or in your analysis, your expert analysis that pay your bills, did you say that Kendrick Davis is a defensive stopper?
I've said it before. Yes, I have said it before. I've said in the VIP news. That don't what you put in the magazine. Yeah, so yes, I have said it before. On RCS Sports, I've claimed him to be a defense stopper because he said it himself in crunch time because he was going against Tamir Bynum. That was a game against Tamir Bynum from Lamar High School. That was a district matchup. Kendrick, before that game, because Kendrick Davis
I got something for you.
Kendrick Davis said that kid there, I'm going to stop him.
I got something for you. Somebody, a coach, you might not, his opinion might not matter. Herb Baker said nobody ever said he was a defensive stopper. Excuse me, Herb, nobody but Jim Hicks. Jim Hicks said he was a defensive stopper. So guess what?
Him. How you're not listening? I quoted Kendrick of saying that. When he was facing
I said Jimmy. We're not talking about Kendrick. You say your expert knowledge. We're not talking about.
You said, "Have you ever wrote?" So if I quote somebody, I wrote it, Hatter. I quoted. He said that about himself. He said, "Crunch time."
Have you ever written a report that says Kendrick Davis? You know what I'm talking about. Was a defensive stopper.
Boy.
Jimmy, you say your expert opinion. That's why I said let's move on from this subject, because I knew it was going to go here. But guess what?
Dude,
I agree with her. He could have had a better defensive effort, but I always tell you, like I said earlier, good offense going to be defense. A perfect example. Oh, I'm glad it gave me a chance to plug my dude, because I ain't plugged him in a while. Number 13, James Harden, Houston Rockets. He played against the Clippers. He played against the Clippers. And he hit a three on the three supposed to be the best defensive players and pointed at each one of them and said, I hit these guys talking about they the top defensive players in the world and all defensive team. And guess what? I still get out of there with 40 or 50. All I was trying to explain to you is, Jimmy, good offense beat a good defense. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to get into your expertise. I don't know why you always putting your expertise at question. I didn't question it.
It's being questioned. That's why.
My opinion shouldn't matter to you then.
But it does. That's a part. See, that's the part.
But my opinion, excuse me, my opinion is only mine.
But it has effect.
Because you know why? Your opinion don't affect me.
Listen, it should. If a person has a certain status of respect, then their opinion should matter to people who respect
Jimmy,
that
we
person.
just live a different life, Jimmy. I don't care about what you or nobody say. Your opinion about me. I just don't care.
You care about what Penny Hardaway says?
Oh, my God.
If you respect the person, you respect the opinion. If you don't respect the person, guess what? That's like the big.
Excuse me, Jim.
Like
Jimmy
the big fella that's
Jimmy
on Fox.
I got a question. Right, could we move on from this subject? I just got a question. Can we move on from this? I'm tired of hearing it. This is the first time I'm just tired of hearing it. Because you're not listening. It ain't got, you're not listening. What is the next kid we should be talking about? That's all. What's the next kid?
Montavious Murphy is the next kid, Kansas State.
He ain't 4 minutes.
No. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. 26 minutes. I'm talking 4 games. I'm sorry. 26 minutes. Okay. All right.
And what else? Read his whole stat line.
26 minutes, 4 points. Y'all got it crooked. 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist per game.
Kansas State. Once again, another kid. People's questioning whether he was going to even get off the bench going to the Big 12. People question his heart. People question how tough he was or was not. If you here's the thing, if you have a whole yard full of soft puppies and they all playing together, one of them gonna make the all puppy team. One of them gonna be great. One of them gonna look better than the other. It don't take if everybody is soft, or most of the kids out there are soft, as you guys always saying. Then it don't take a whole bunch of hardness. It don't take but a little bit of hardness to stick out. Montavious Murphy, a lot of people laughed at him, put him out for heavy trash. Remember he too played with Drive Nation.
Who put him out for heavy trash? He was the number one player.
Dude, a lot of that don't move the needle for on the national scale.
Oh, the national people put it.
A lot of people in Texas. Because Dallas, their class was so much. Think about it.
So Dallas put him out. So who you saying put him out?
No. I understand something. Your number one is in Houston is not going to be the equivalent to number one in Dallas every year. It's not going to be the equivalent. It's not going to go 1, then 1A, then 2, then 2A. Dallas had. So think about it. Last year's class, off the top of my head. Think about this. Drew Timme is playing significant minutes at Gonzaga, the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
He's a true freshman.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
What's my kid? Tyrese Maxey at Kentucky. He's starting for the most part every 2 games at Kentucky.
And they getting drove, but keep going.
But still, he's averaging about 14 points a game at Kentucky as a starter.
Okay.
And Kentucky is still one of the top 20 teams in the country.
Okay.
So also the kid Davion Harmon is a starter at Oklahoma.
I like him.
Those are just 3 off the top of the head. That was now, mind you.
So we don't have guys. You just said we got, but so the bigger the school, hold up, the bigger the school where you're starting at, that means you're better.
No, first of all, the expectation, because these all were 5-star players I just named. 5 stars.
So they supposed to be doing that, right?
They're supposed to be not necessarily producing like that.
Have an opportunity.
Touching the court. They're supposed to have an opportunity.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That means, because having an opportunity means you pick the right school.
Okay.
Now, Syvelle Wheeler right now and Montavious Murphy, they are bright spots. But at the time, even people were questioning and wondering if Syvelle was going to play. Because remember, they had the young fella Anthony Edwards, and Anthony Edwards was a brief belief that he would have the ball in his hands as a point guard. Remember, some people were naming him point guard. And then so we asked Teddy Wheeler. Teddy Wheeler came on the Chop Shop. Teddy Wheeler said, my son going to play. So what's the expectation? Oh, about 17 minutes a game. He's doing more. He's doing 26, 27 minutes a game. He's leading the team in assists. And he's finishing games that's more important. And just won a game, which they supposed to have won, but SMU is not a bad team. That was a good win, a very good win. But my point is, that class out of Dallas was better than the class out of Houston on paper.
How's Samuel Williamson doing?
I don't know, at Louisville. Let's check him out. He's another kid. He's a McDonald's All-American.
Dallas just had a bigger name class.
It happens like that.
Yeah,
It's going to be peaks and valleys.
But I'm good with that. But I didn't know people called Montavious Murphy heavy trash. I just didn't hear that. Because guess what? I don't talk to the media people. So
well, let's say heavy trash when a person signed with a school, and this I do know. The staff at Kansas State received pushback from some summer coaches asking them and claiming that why would you offer that kid or sign that kid because my kid is better. In other words,
Jimmy, hey, come on. Them kind of guys there, that's terrible.
But that happens. So in the underbelly of recruiting, a lot of summer coaches use that tactic as leverage, or when they're trying to push their kid, that we do that to indirectly deflate the next kid.
In the words of Melvin Dews said, Coach Cal is busy snitching instead of coaching. That's why they're getting their head tore off.
So, oh man,
I love Melvin Dews. Melvin Dews is unbelievable. Huh?
At this point right now, what 3 NCAA teams are the most hated?
Probably Memphis, because I talk about him, because you hate him, and you people hate him because I
I'm
talk
talking
about
about
him.
nationwide. Nationwide. Let's say nationwide.
But y'all nationwide around here. This the largest state in the union. I
So
love it.
who the other two?
People always hate Duke. People in Kentucky. Duke,
So
Kentucky.
Kentucky, Duke, and then you say in Memphis.
Yeah. Memphis got a nice looking African American coach that's rich and in the top 10 in the country. So people kind of hate on that a little. People hate that. And not just the other people. Some people his own color hate. So I understand. He understands it and I understand.
So now we're officially on the back nine, guys. It's time to go up in that mailbag. And as we go up in that mailbag, we have some topics for you guys. Shout out to
before we go in the mailbag, Jimmy, I just got a text. I want you to check up on it that Tyler Smith has received he posted last night. He received an offer from Baylor.
From Baylor.
Yes.
Well, I can believe that. But one thing about Baylor makes it no secret that they will offer early. So in basketball. So I can believe they haven't confirmed it, but I can believe it. Tyler Smith is not necessarily meeting the expectation as a ninth grader. This year he's over at Bush, started the year at Westbury Christian. Mm-hmm. He's about 6'8". He's a wiry, long kid that the shot is falling. He can give you moments on the court and make you say, "Ooh, wait!" Yes, but then he can also disappear and turn into a ninth grader, which will make you wonder, hey, this kid definitely don't need to play 17U. So right now he's just trying to find himself and learn the game of basketball. That's it. And that's the thing about being anointed, because a summer ago, he played up on one of the Adidas teams. I think was it Basketball U or was Team Arden? Played on one of those teams.
I think Basketball U.
Basketball U.
Yeah.
And he was being anointed. There was attempts to anoint him as he's the next best thing. And everybody can't handle that. Because if you've been anointed as the next best thing, that means psychologically on the street, when you say those, that they got rivals and ESPN use those stars and give 5 stars. Mm-hmm. Well, hell, on the street, you done gave him 5 stars before you even play the game. And then, so that means if you give him 5 stars on the street, then expectations increase. Because the people are going to expect for him to just walk into high school and dominate or take the reins of his varsity team. That's what happens when you've been anointed.
Okay. Like somebody did last year.
Who was somebody?
Bryce Griggs.
Well, Bryce Griggs did. But those are the expectations.
I'm sorry.
Before you even arrive, once you've been anointed. But then what happens is the grown folk, some of these kids can't handle that. But you embrace it and you welcome it. How do you embrace it? How do you welcome it? By liking and retweeting. That means you're embracing it. But then the minute that the productivity diminishes or the kid is not starting and people questioning why the coach playing him, why he not starting, and guess what? You're gone. And that's the thing.
Who be gone, Jimmy?
A lot of the players.
The players? What you mean the players be gone?
Well, because it's pressure.
Okay. And a lot of the kids can't. Okay.
Can't no 14 through 18 year old leave. I'm sorry, 14 through 17 year old. Can't any of them leave their school and transfer to another school without the signature or the consent of a parent or a guardian? So the adults are involved as well. People don't think about it. It's like, oh, that kid left school. He can't leave on his own.
Wow.
Unless he produces an electric bill.
That's right.
If he has a utility bill.
So don't blame the kid no more. Blame the parents. Because the kid just can't up and leave.
Or the guardian.
Okay. All right.
And that's the truth.
Right.
But we get so consumed.
But Jimmy, hold on now. I want to help you out, Coach. When you were talking about Tyler, I went to your. I went to I went to your Ruck on the Wood,
Mhm.
and even me, and I didn't see him play for BU, but even me, I came out of there saying he the best ninth grader that was in that building. So, that's not his fault that I came out of there and said that he was the best. Is it his fault that Robert Hatter thought he was the best ninth grader that he's seen
Well, I
in that
mean,
class?
guess what?
Huh?
And that's perfectly fine. That's not wrong.
Okay.
Somebody, he understand,
Uh-huh.
but being anointed.
I didn't never tell him that, but I saw it with my own two eyes.
Understand that.
Yeah.
And that was rightfully so. But being anointed is a whole different thing. That's kind of like being franchised on the NFL team. That's a whole different thing.
That's why we named the team franchise. But keep going.
You guys would understand this. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's not the best one. No,
Right.
I'm saying that when you get to the point where when people start thinking about, well, man, here's the class of 2023. That class may not even go to college, and you start.
Okay, I got you. It's expectations. You saying it's expectations. Okay,
and it's unrealistic.
I got you.
So that means now, how the hell can a kid think about it like this? So how in the hell do you expect a kid to think about foregoing college and go straight to the NBA because the rules will be changed by 2023? Right. If you're not even playing on your varsity team, that's when you meet. It's like, oh man, I'm frustrated because now I'm supposed to be this.
But coach, all eggs don't hatch on the same day.
But then that's not being told.
Just because you're not just tearing it up as a freshman, don't mean you got to remember Tyler is still. Every time I see him, he growing another inch. Jimmy, and from me talking to taller guys that made it to the league, they said, man, I was clumsy as hell. Tim Duncan couldn't even play at 14 and 15 that good. He couldn't chew gum and walk at the same time. And they said he one of the greatest ever. So I just see, so Jimmy, I got a question. How should we handle in your coach? Hey, you the expert in this. How should we, as a city, as a person, how should we handle young prodigies like this? Because I think Jimmy, for his height and he can stroke that thing like that, I don't know what the future holds. But I'd rather have one of him than one of them little midgets. Now, them the Junebugs. Now, I'm just telling you. I'd rather have one of him than one of them. If I was a college coach or somebody, I'd rather have one of him than a ball beater. That's just me. Nothing against the ball beaters, but I would rather have one. So how do we handle kids like this then? Just let it play out?
You let some of it play out. You put some hype, but you don't go all in that early on the kid. You let him be able to leave room for him to fight.
Okay.
Because if you go all in, put it like this: if you say a kid is a pro as a ninth grader, right? And people use that term real loosely in society nowadays. Right. If you claim him as a pro, this kid a pro, then as a 10th grader, as an 11th grader, any regression, that means everybody's going to be expecting total dominance. The higher that you market the kid, the more that's going to be expected of him. And that kid may not be built for that. He may not be cut out for that mentally. Hell, you may not be cut out for that mentally, because now you're going to feel like it's you versus the world.
Right.
If it's you versus the world in your community, then how do you expect them to rally behind you if you're basically saying, the hell with all y'all, we're going to prove all you wrong? That ain't how you get that. That ain't how you get that following, that base.
Is this what you're saying? Let me help you. Stacy just said something. I think this is what you're saying. Okay? He said, what we all need to do in grassroots basketball is enjoy early success. I really enjoy watching Tyler, of these young prospects, and stop putting titles and high ass expectations on these kids. Stop the hype. what's the difference in hype and just admiring a kid's talent? If you see some, maybe I need to look up the word hype. Jimmy, you can talk about, I want to look up the word hype. And what does it, Jimmy, what's the difference in hype and just say when you see a kid and you see that he's pretty good, you say something about it. Is anything wrong with that?
Well, when you see kids play and they play well in a game all weekend, then to go and you say, this kid is the best in the country. This kid is number one. This kid's the best. Ain't nothing. So now you are throwing possibly premature hype on that kid, because now you're making a challenge verbally that unless you're ready for that challenge and what comes with it, then chances are very few are going to live up to it because of the inconsistency of some of the players. And that's just how it is. Some kids is best to let them play and feel themselves out as a Samuel Williamson, you know, as a what's Lil Jones' name from at UT, our young kid who just overcame leukemia, Andrew Jones.
Okay.
As a ninth grader, there was an abundance of hype.
Okay.
On them.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. So therefore they grew into it. Let them grow into the pants or into the shoes. Then you let them wear it tied up and let them wear it. Now you know it's there because then you have a factual account and a resume that's up under it. That's like, for example, you mentioned the Bryce Griggs situation. Well, my thing was, remember a year ago, my thing, and we had a conversation about him, and I said, man, I'm not talking about no 8th graders. That was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to talk about them like that. Let's wait till you get to high school, Hal.
No, you told me not to talk about my own nephew.
On the Chop Shop.
Yeah.
And I explained, I said, let's wait till you get to high school to build a resume. Now, and he went through the high school, led his team to the regional tournament. Now, they lost to Manor High School, who has LaShed, who's going to Simon University of Houston. But that, and that was rightfully so. A kid, they lost to a team with a young man who pretty much had demolished most of the kids on the high school scene that he had played against. He did what he was supposed to do as an 11th grader. 11th grade, mid to high level Division I prospect, did what he was supposed to do against a 9th grader under bright lights. He did what he was supposed to do. Not that what Bryce didn't do, it's that young man did what he was supposed to, what was expected of him, being that University of Houston had offered him at the time. So
and then I saw him, this same guy you talking about, I saw him in the EYBL looking very normal.
Average. He looked average.
Excuse me. Okay, I just said normal. You just said. Yeah, but Jimmy, hype, the definition is extravagant or extensive publicity or promotion. So don't just go overboard with it. That's what you said. But Jimmy, when you see something you ain't seen in a while, Jimmy, I put it like this. I've been going to your Rock on the Woods for years. But a 9th grader that tall that was doing that, I just hadn't seen it. You follow me? I hadn't seen guards. But so that's why, and I don't think, in me personally, I don't think people are overhyping Tyler that as much. I don't even hear Tyler's name as much. I just don't.
No. You don't hear it now because of the fact that now the expectations has dipped a little because we know he went through turbulence and transferred schools.
Right.
Westbury Christian to Bush. Even at Bush, when he started playing, he was used as a reserve.
Yes.
So that means now we know what to expect. Right now, he's a reserve. And until they just play
a very effective reserve. When I saw him play every game in the Outback, I mean not Outback, what you call it, the Fort Bend, Jimmy, he's got better every game. I put it like that. He got better every single game.
And that's the understand.
Mhm.
So that's that part right there.
Mhm.
That part of the patience is normally not reserved if a player has already been anointed. Until the person who anointed the kid comes back and makes an adjustment and say, "Oh, hey guys, let's pump the brakes. I made it." But that's the thing. So that means you get grown folk looking at grown folk,
Mhm.
and the kids are pawns in this chess game. So grown folk
Mhm.
want grown folk to be accountable,
Mhm.
and kids don't have no idea of the mental mind games that goes on. And that's part of the thing. So that means now if a kid you might see a kid that might go out and it may score 4 points.
Mhm.
And it'll be a grown folks say, "See there, I told you that kid ain't all that. And he got that kid ranked number 1 or number 2." You see? And it's like people look around like, "Man, this kid only in the 9th grade. He's starting. He got a Letterman jacket coming." But then if somebody, you never know what some people, how they market these young kids to be. And as Stacey said, if we can just pump the brakes,
Okay.
the egg will hatch if it's good enough.
Okay.
You're still going to be time,
All
now,
right.
especially for those who play on the sneaker circuit.
Okay.
Now, if you don't play on the sneaker circuit, then your time capsule is a little bit different, and that's your decision.
So-
Because if you're that good and you don't play, we talked about this about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
The McDonald All-Americans
Mhm.
from the state of Texas, right? And that's one of the articles in the magazine. The McDonald's All-Americans from the state of Texas who did not play for a sneaker team.
Okay.
We only found since the year 2000,
Mhm.
I think we only found like one.
So in other words, all you and Stacy, you experts saying, just let it play out. See, I'm just trying to get an understanding. So y'all not saying the kids are not whatever they are. You just saying, just let it play out. And guess what? I can respect that. Because normal people like me and the rest of the people on the Boom Boom Room, this not what we do. We just see what we see and we talk about. You can't, we can't just not talk about what we see, but I understand what you're saying. Just let it play out. The queen.
And go to boom. Yeah, and that's, but some people had there's an I guess I would say a willing desire
Mhm.
for so many people by the way of social media, primarily. It's a willing desire for so many people to be first in their own race.
Gotcha. And Jimmy, could you help Jeremy Cunningham? You have to be a VIP member in order to see the MPG list of the freshmen. Go to RCS Sports, join the VIP room, and you'll be able and get your password, and you'll be able to see the MPG list. I am not gonna copy and paste it and send it to you. So keep going.
I mean, exactly. It's right. You go to rcssports.com
Yeah.
and you can see the list, and it's an alphabetical order of every single freshman from the Greater Houston area on a Division I roster,
Right.
how they're doing, and we give you guys the games that they played in, the minutes per game, the points per game, the rebounds per game, the assists per game, and the steals per game. We give you guys all of those categories for those young people, and you can go look them up and see how they're faring.
What you got in the mailbag? Cause Miss Mackey is going. I love Miss Mackey. Miss Mackey going in.
That's Tyler's mother, and so
Wait a minute. That's Sean.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
this Sean. I didn't. All this time I didn't know that was her.
yeah, and she says he started the last game and played, and he plays every quarter. My opinion, Houston hype who they want to. At the end of the day, my son just want to play, and that's what he'll continue to do. People will come into my kid in 5th grade and never stop. We don't get enclosed in the hype.
There you go.
And what understand? Remember, that's one layer of it. The other
What's
layer,
the other
which
layer?
I just said that people don't understand. If somebody put it like this, hype coming from a grown person who has a portal or a platform, and however much hype they put on your kid is going to is going to embrace or invite animosity, is going to invite appreciation. And the way that they angle that hype is going to increase it either to the left or to the right. Has nothing to do with the kid per se on whether they're embracing it or listening or not, because often they don't hear it. Those conversations are going, I mean, don't get twisted. Grown folk use social media, so it's there. But it just saying use a perfect example as a Bryce Griggs. Because now we can use him because Robert Hatter has given Bryce Griggs an abundance of hype. So that means one thing. People couldn't wait till the lights turned bright to either prove Robert Hatter wrong. It was for some, it wasn't about Bryce Griggs. It's about I can't wait till the chop shop, because this kid lay an egg, I'm going to light Hatter ass up. That's how some people feel. That's what I mean by the hype.
And I got 2 words for him. Yeah, I got 2 words for him. Anybody who said that. Because all I did is reported what I saw. I can't help it. If it was extravagant. Let me go. Hold on. Let me get it. Extravagant, intense publicity or promotion. I just reported what I saw. And I think that's why I thought reporting what you saw is journalism. If he didn't do what I said did, all I did is reported what he did. So I don't care none. You already know. Just like I said, I don't care. If I don't care nothing about your opinion, you know I don't care nothing about nobody else's. So, you know, I just learned that long time ago, y'all. Because, hey, I being grown, you can't be worried about everybody else now. So, but I just wouldn't say I hyped him. He was that damn good. He was only freshman in 5 or 6A. That was All-State. Is that hype? That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, that's
a fact.
I'm saying he built the resume at that point. So at that point, it would be justifiable to wake people up and say, hey, yo, y'all see this? Y'all see the TABC release their all-state teams.
Okay.
Yo.
Okay.
This kid just made it to this point. So now people at that point, even the people that if you wake them up, it don't stop. They're going to keep going. They
don't stop. I understand that.
Well,
but
no, they can and they will at a certain point, because at a certain point, I've seen guys concede about certain kids. I've seen guys say, you know what, man, I give up, man. That's a bad mofo right there. I've seen it happen. At some point, I've seen John Urie come and give it up to some kids that wasn't his.
I don't think that's the other person's fault. I think that's John Urie's fault. I think the people. Why we worry about the people? The haters need to be. That's the ones we need to be. Those are the ones that need to be ostracized. Cause guess what? So is Baylor a part of the hype? They just offered the kid. Robert Hatter ain't never offered Tyler. Stacey Houston didn't offer Tyler. Baylor offered Tyler. Are they a part of the hype? Was that extravagant? Hold up. Extravagant, excessive publicity or promotion?
No, Baylor, it's a common thing, a common practice for certain staffs to offer. Certain staff will offer kids at a younger age as opposed to others, and that's just the truth. And Baylor is one of those schools that will go out of their way to be the first to offer. Uric Malagi was the same way when he was at A&M. That's one of his things. If his boss can let him, I don't know if they'll let him do it at Texas Tech, but that was his thing, was to go out and be the first to offer. And that was his I asked him, I said, why did you offer this kid over here? It's just not making sense. Man, and he explained it to me. He said, I know them kids ain't gonna commit, but they're gonna remember they first.
But
So
Jimmy,
that was his
but
destination.
Jimmy,
Destination.
Jimmy, that's hype though, Jimmy. That's extravagant. A ninth
How's,
grader?
no, hold on. If a coach is offering a ninth grade, that ain't hype. That's business on their part.
So
Some
it's
coach,
business on their part. So what if these people got some hype people? What if these people, then it's business on them? What if these guys got hype? What if the mixtape guys? See, y'all can't have it one way. And on this side, you want to protect this side, but on this side, it's free game at other people. I have never in my life came to a get. We had a situation the other day. Guy told me, Haller, you gotta come tomorrow. I want you to see this boy. He the best. He the best. Right, Jimmy. I walked in there. Guy scored 3 points. Got his head tore off. I didn't go back and get mad at the dude and said, nigga, you hyped the kid. I just said, man, when you tell me, that's what I said. I didn't get mad and take it out on the kid like some of these clowns are doing. I said, man, when you tell me to come see a kid now, he got to be good now. That's all I said to him. You got to be good. I didn't go back and say, man, that dude's sorry. That dude, he ain't this good. I just don't understand the mentality of somebody, because that young man who played, he didn't say nothing to Robert Hatter. It's another grown man said it, and he hyped him up. I mean, greatly, Jimmy. But I didn't get mad at the dude and wished something bad on the kid. You got to have a sick-ass mind. And I guess there's a lot of sick minds out here to do that, Jimmy. That's just me and where I come from. You got to be a sick, grown, bitter, old-ass man or woman if you sit back and do that. Now, that's all I got to say about that. What else we got?
I mean, there's a lot of sick people out there in their own right. But the fact still remains that if God don't like another guy, then he's not going to. If this guy is touting something and you don't like that person, then guess what? You're not going to want him to succeed everything he touches, because that way he's going to. And that's just how it is. That's the nature of a lot of these. You have to realize for every kid,
Jim, did you hear what you just said? I'm just telling you, I don't think like that. You sitting up and glorifying them that behavior. I just explained to you.
No, I'm not
a normal man don't think like that.
Well, guess what? It's a bunch of asses ain't normal men then. Okay. So it's a room full of gay ass men. But guess what?
I didn't call them gay.
In the room with them.
I'm not calling them gay.
Well, hell, what you just said, that's another word you just said for them. That they might as well be. You in the room with them. Either you don't mess with them or you do mess with them. But in this game, it's a room full of them, and most of them are like that. You're messing with them. You got the option to not even go, but you're in the room with them. That's what I'm saying. So I'm identifying.
Okay, that's why I sit by myself. Okay, I might be in the room with them, but I'm by myself. Yeah, you're right.
And they're gonna come up to you and they're gonna slap five, and you're gonna slap five with them. They're gonna knock hands. You're gonna knock hands with them. They're gonna say what's up. You're gonna say what's up with them. You're identifying it.
Well, guess what? I don't want to glorify them clowns today.
Let's talk about
some productive. I'm not glorifying them clowns today. On this show.
Once again,
on this show,
you're not glorifying.
Yeah,
I'm identifying.
I'm not even. Guess what? I'm not glorifying them, identifying them. I don't care. I just told you that. So what else we got? What's in the mailbox, man?
So that's the thing. You got to realize this is what.
I hope they go listen to the show though.
They're launching right now. Yeah, listen to the show.
What else we got in the mailbag?
Right now.
What else we got in the mailbag?
That's the thing.
What else we got in the mailbag? What else?
I have a question in the mailbag.
Oh my God. Herb just pinned me a picture of him and Tyler. Wow. Yeah, Herb, you're right. I didn't know about Tyler until Jimmy's the Ruck on the Wood. I didn't have the advantage of going to watch 8th graders play this year. So I didn't know about him. I heard mention it that that I did. Jimmy probably knew about Tyler all the time.
I mean, I started watching him in the. Understand?
I
Tyler.
did. I just said,
played,
Jimmy, hold up. I just said I didn't know about it, but he sent me a
I mean,
picture of him and Tyler.
They knew that. They know that already. Hell, the thing about it like this. That's we had the middle school championships was last year in the 8th grade. His team, his middle school, made it to the championship game.
Okay.
So that was.
I didn't go to that. I'm talking about me. Ain't nobody talking about you. I just said I didn't know who he was. It's all right. You're not me. But always remember, Jimmy, you're not you. We're different.
Al, one day what we're gonna do? One day we're gonna find and get you a scouting service. That's what I'm supposed to know if they get to that age.
I'm sitting here.
So
what are you talking about?
We wasn't talking about you knowing. We weren't talking about you knowing.
It was Herb said it on the Facebook feed, Jimmy. He told the mom, I didn't know about the kid for till this year. That what was said on the Facebook feed, man. Quit being so damn sensitive.
You responded to that?
Yes.
Al, listen to him. I guess it's time to give y'all a disclaimer again. I'm a sensitive motherfucker. So that's what I am. Every day of the year. Y'all know that's about me.
But guess what? I'm not talking about you.
Everybody that knows me, I'm not the guy that say sticks and stones don't hurt my bones, but may hurt my bones, but words
Here
may
we
never.
go again.
Listen,
Jimmy, can we get Jimmy?
I'm the guy, words hurt my feelings.
Jimmy, we got 15 more minutes, man.
But you know what I do? I got some hell of a feeling. I got some hell of a get back. I'm going to get back on your ass like you never believed. So when I get back. So you guys know that goes all the way from the street. When I get back, when I get back maybe 5 years later, might be 10 years later, might be when it's least expected, I'm going to get my get back. Now that's just the type of guy I am. So yes. So you question that, y'all know who I am, know how I am. But at the same time, if you need help, Hicks going to help you. And Jim Hicks, I'm one of them guys that I'm going to help you and I'm going to let the world know that I help you. So don't take my help. You want the world to know I helped you.
Now that's the truth.
All that's the truth. Shit, ain't no son the truth. This morning, guess what Jim Hicks did? Went through Rosewood, Texas, buying.
I already told him, Jimmy.
No. Well, I'm gonna let them know. They might have missed the beginning. Buying every senior citizen in Rosewood something to eat. That just started today. I got to go get Miss Jacobs something down the street. That's what you save your community.
I'm finna click myself off. That's
what I'm doing. But once again, you guys know, you need money, Jim Hicks gonna loan you money. But I'm gonna let the world know your ass don't pay me. So don't ask me for no money. Now, anybody out there that asked me for money before that I ain't never gave it to them, raise your hand. Now they let you know. You ain't gotta tell them I gave it, but if you ask me and I ain't gave you nothing. Everybody that come to me, I help them. Everybody. Now, you name the next guy that do that. And I'm gonna talk my shit on this day. That's what I'm saying to you. So that's what you get with me. You get that type of concern. You get that type of investment. If you're supporting my efforts gonna support you. That's the thing. That's the big difference. A lot of guys ain't it for a whole different amount of things. But Jim Hicks gonna help you if you're trying to do the right thing and you really want to be helped. That's the thing.
Can I come back yet?
Come on back to that. Come on back to that. Ain't no come back.
What is in the mailbag? We got 15 minutes.
Here go the mailbag. God say, met a friend of a friend. Her son played baseball at Fort Bend Travis. She said from the age of 12 or 13 until he got to college, she spent approximately $65,000 for him to play select baseball. This figure includes travel, equipment, and personal training. However, he has a full ride to Rice and is a junior. I would love to hear what the basketball and football parents have spent. So you guys, once again, this is baseball. From 13 years old all the way, that's roughly the 7th grade to the 12th grade year. They spent approximately $65,000 on travel, equipment, training in youth baseball. What would you guys, as a parent, how much have you estimated that you spent on your son in the sport? If you start from the 7th grade to now, or you just break it down. So let me break this down. If it's 65,000, and that's roughly 13U, 14U, 15U, 16U, 17U, that's 5 years. So 65 divided by 5 let me see, 15,000 will be 75. That's about 12,000 and some change, right? There's about 12,000 a summer. How much basketball? How much football? How much are you parents paying out there right now?
So this for one kid?
One kid.
From what grade?
From 7th grade to that's 13U, 14U, 15U.
Is this a basketball mama?
That's a baseball mama.
It's a baseball mama. Okay.
She spent 65,000.
Interesting. So what's the question?
What?
Man, everybody ain't gonna tell you what they spent. I definitely ain't gonna tell you what I spent on that little dude.
No, but then understand, if if you bought the hotel rooms for a whole team, that ain't including what it costs for your kid. Now the other stuff you done for the other kid.
But that's still money.
Yeah, but that's not going to equate every year. That might have been a 1 or 2 times. That might have been one summer you might have did that. You see what I'm saying? That ain't going to equate to every year.
That they might have did. Yeah, it's I'm not going to even calculate. I'm not going to calculate. But baseball, Herb said baseball is a lot more expensive than any other sport. So I mean, I wonder what the parents was. Hey, that's a good question.
Cecil says 13,000. Well, that's 13,000. That's what it would come to per year. If you average it out, 13,000. I said 12 and some change, 13. Thanks, Cecil. But baseball, yes, we know baseball costs more. What are you guys paying for basketball? What about soccer? I heard soccer is expensive. I heard volleyball is very expensive. And so, shout out to Kevin Freeman over there.
What up, Frank?
Tascasita.
Basketball is expensive too. So when you're traveling with these kids, that get expensive.
What make baseball more expensive? Well, the training. I can understand the training.
And their equipment, Jimmy. Those bats are a
but it's
lot
a
of
one-time
money.
expense. It's
Those
a one-time
gloves are a lot of money. No, these guys have 4 and 5. You ever seen the bat bag? They got 4 and 5 different bats. Oh, tennis. Oh my God. Let's not go there. Tennis probably trump all of them.
What make tennis more expensive?
The rackets are very expensive.
So how many rackets you got to buy?
About 4 or 5. If you're a good player, in the beginning is 1. The better he get, the more rackets. And he got and your tennis shoes on a tennis court don't last like a basketball game. You can't play but 1 or 2 times on a tennis court, depending on what kind of court you play on. To travel, tennis is unbelievable. And the rackets, 3 and 4, the better ones, $300-400 per racket. You hope he's good enough to get a deal and that can help offset some of those costs. Yes.
And I'm looking now, and that's a good reply from Troy Bieniemy.
And let's not talk about golf. Please don't talk about golf. I'm sorry, tennis. Golf got everybody drunk. That's why you don't see a lot of us on there. Jim.
So in golf, the clubs are a one-time expense.
Not necessarily. Because you upgrading equipment every year. They come out with new equipment every 6 months. So if your son,
So you might buy a new driver, just like kids in basketball buy new tennis shoes.
Driver, $600 to $700 a month. I mean, excuse me, per club. Then you got a driver, you got a 3-wood, you got a rescue wood, you got 4 driver type things in your bag. Your clubs, if you're getting the good clubs, gonna cost you between $1,500 to $2,000 a set when you're trying to compete if you compete nationally. Because you don't want those other kids to have better equipment, because equipment makes you hit the ball. Jimmy, you remember I told you I went to get this golf set, right? And I got fitted for it. And then I found out how much the person who was going to pay for them. I said, no, I don't want no gift to cost that much. I don't want no gift to cost that much. Golf is one of the most expensive sports on the planet. The shoes, the outfits, oh my God. It's crazy. Crazy. You got to change every day. You play 4 days, Jimmy. You got to have a new outfit for every day. You know how much them shirts, you know how much these polos, I know we get them, complimented from Nike. Them things are $100-something a piece. So, golf, and golf balls that you use if you're playing top. Jimmy, the top golf ball costs, a set costs $50 to $60 for 12. You're going to lose some, Jimmy. You're going to knock them in the water. Unbelievable. Y'all don't get me on my house, because I'm talking about, I spend a lot on golf, and just me. So as I move forward, I'm curious to get an average. I'm gonna try to get an average, and you guys know, and you find parents from volleyball, you find parents from tennis or golf. I'm curious to get, because not one, I need to get like at least 5 or more over a period of time, and I would love to do and crunch the numbers so that those numbers could be visible to people who understand and indulge themselves into various sports before they get started. Because I can guarantee you this: if most people would know, okay, if your son want to play baseball, it's gonna cost you at least $65,000. Well, it's gonna cost you at least $13,000 this year. That's $1,000 and some change a month. Some parents will say, "Oh no," but that's not what the sale probably is. The sale is, this is what the training is going to be. And some of them may know up front. Some of them may very well know, and they're okay with it. But as Troy Benjamin says, the amount that you pay for your son or your kid probably depends on how good they are or how good they are not. And that's a whole. Or how much you love them. Because some little Johnnies, man, I mean, my baby, that's what he like to do. He want to hang out with them guys. Boy, you just don't understand. You do a lot for them kids, man.
Okay, well, here's a magic question. This is something going, here's the thing. Do you got parents, a lot of parents are on set incomes. They're on budgets. A lot of these youth sports can compromise their budget. And it will force them to make a decision, an economic decision that may not be prepared to follow through with, such as, taking out a loan, remortgaging, refinancing the house, downsizing. I just said taking a loan out a while ago, but and that may not be part of the equation. But as a parent, you mentioned if you love that kid, then that's gonna be a no-brainer. So, but if your son or daughter don't really love that sport, then is that a wise investment? If they don't really love it. A lot of kids out there don't. You're trying to find their way. You put them in different sports, but a lot of them just don't.
Jeremy Cunningham came up with something, but that's part of it, Jeremy. He said his money was spent on his basketball, wasn't necessarily spent on his son playing. He said a lot of his money is hotel flight, getting his family there, rental cars, food, entry fees, and stuff like that. That stuff add up over the years, y'all. I'm telling you, I don't even want to go back and count it, Jimmy. Me personally, I don't. Because I'm going to get mad all over again.
No, but if
Yeah, I am. There I am. I'm going to get mad. I could get mad. You can get mad. Because if I wasn't spending that money on him, I could have been lending people money like you was doing. Some kids are really good, but some parents don't spend a dime.
I mean, that's the same. That's kind of a spin-off of what Troy said earlier. And now Jeremy Cunningham says my money spent in basketball wasn't necessarily spent on my son playing.
I just read that.
You just read that one?
Yeah.
I caught the end of that. When you read it. So yeah.
Wow. It's unbelievable, man. I mean, Jimmy, you've been. It's gonna make your parents think.
And Cecil, you're right. It is an extracurricular activity, but cheerleading, I know that costs a grip. They got to change and buy a whole new outfit for every time they go to competition. A whole new outfit.
And them dudes are outrageous. It's a parent. You remember I was going to bring a parent on the show after I went downtown and saw all of them cheerleaders. I was going to bring that parent on the show. She just said, she had 2 daughters cheerleading. And guess what? The Woodlands team is the best one. The Woodlands team is the best one, Jimmy. Melvin Dews just tweeted something. Let me see what he just posted something. Let me see what he's talking about. I'm going to I'm gonna read it for y'all. But what else you got, Jim?
Yeah, I mean that's a great topic. And
I had some mailbags, but it didn't tie into some of this stuff. I don't want to go too far because we got one. Somebody sent me. They said over the past they sent this back during the Thanksgiving, Jimmy. They said over the Thanksgiving period there were plenty of collegiate basketball being played in the Caribbean, Hawaii, Canada, as well as the States. They said a problem that they noticed was no TV coverage of the women's games over this period, only the men's game. They said I watched some great men games, but there were some very good women's games that was at well over that period of time that didn't get no air, Jimmy. I meant to talk about that on Women Rock Wednesday, Women's Rock Wednesday, but I think we done beat that one up a little bit. I mean, people just don't watch them. And then Jimmy, somebody said, it amazes me how parents don't invest anything into their child's basketball development and show up from the game and think the kid is supposed to compete with the kids who play all year round. Somebody sent me that. It's crazy, man. But it's, hey, it's unbelievable. I just don't know where to go with that one. So how are we going to end this one, Jimmy? This is the last show before Christmas. All through the house, not a creature was there, not even a mouse. How are we going to end this show, man? Where we going to end it on, man? Because I appreciate y'all the whole year. I got something else I got to do, Jimmy. I'm not going to get caught. I'm going to hit that golf ball. Yeah. I'm going to go. It's time to go and crank this thing up. It's definitely, and hope you guys have a safe holiday this week, and see you guys once again. We won't be back until Monday. And so no Chop Shop on the holiday on the 25th or the 26th. We'll come back on the holiday, and at that point in time, guess what? It will be the NFL playoffs will be finalized. Yeah. And as well as the NCAA, that's what I called them earlier, the semifinals of the football championship. The college football series. FBS. And last but not least, we got, before we land this plane, don't forget the game of the day on tomorrow
the Los Angeles Lakers and the Los Angeles,
Yeah,
and the
Jimmy, we
Clippers,
got to spend some time. Now let's talk about all of them games.
and
We got to spend a little time. Celtics versus the Raptors, the early game at 11 a.m. our time, I think. The Rockets versus the Warriors at 4 p.m. The Bucks versus the Sixers at 1:30. The Clippers versus the Lakers at night at prime time, and the Pelicans versus the Nuggets. Jimmy, it was a question that I wanted to ask you. Golly, I know we ain't got that time, but I want you to answer it real quick. What do you think about LeBron versus the Clippers, Kawhi versus the Claw versus the King tonight? Because an anonymous executive, Jimmy, had described this relationship as being kind of lukewarm or tepid, right? He said that I would say they have mutual respect for each other, but there is an appropriate level of fear as well. They know each other. They know both are talented, but there's not a lot of admiration. Don't see them going to dinner after the game. Bleacher Report reported that. And, you can make it quick. What do you think about that, man? Is this they going to be out for blood tomorrow?
Once again, the media has the perfect opportunity to make this into a rivalry. Because you have two Hall of Famers on each team, at least. And that's the Clippers and the Lakers. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you got to be able to sell the NBA because the NBA is their product. So you're selling this. Right now, LeBron is 35 years old. His birthday, 34, he's about to turn 35 in the next couple of days. So we can call him 35. He's 35 years old. Right now, at what he's done right now, averaging a career high in assists, right? Flirting with a triple-double on every other night. Okay. And they're in first place. They lost 6 games this year, but one of those games was recently, and he didn't even play. But this thing, what they do now, because remember the first game of the season, they opened the season playing each other, right? Mm-hmm. But there was no Paul George. Mm-hmm. So now this is and the Clippers won.
Yeah, Patrick Beverley's hurt for this game too.
But they say he's doubtful. We don't know if he's going to play or not.
But I got okay, this is the last one for you. One quick question. I want you to just answer simple. For the rest of the season, if you had your druthers, for the rest of the season, if you could just zap some in, who would you rather have on your team, Giannis or LeBron?
For how many years?
For the rest of the season, from here on out, which one of the players would you rather have if you had a choice?
This season right here.
This season right here.
I probably would rather have the Greek Freak.
Okay.
Because he can do more on the defensive end than LeBron will be able to do on the defensive end.
Okay.
Greek
I
Freak.
agree. That's first time.
Greek Freak is gonna add more energy to me.
So that's my present for you for Christmas. I just agreed with you.
No, hell. I'll take one. But don't forget, guys, that lineup on tomorrow, that is the feature game. Of course, the Lakers and the Clippers. The Rockets playing Golden State. We have Philadelphia at Toronto. I can't remember the other 2 matchups. There's 5 games, I think, total in the NBA. There's going to be some good basketball going on.
I'm about to have a ball. My son in town. I'm about to go have a ball, man. Yeah. I'm finna go hang out, man. Play a little golf. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Don't you let him put you in them tight britches. Y'all get that right in. Shout out. Of course, thanks a bunch for everybody, guys. Make sure you share the show with your timelines and your friends. Spread the word about the Chop Shop. Don't forget, go over to RCS Sports and check out a lot of the updated intel on there. Get you a copy of the magazine if you hadn't done so. The locations are located on the front of RCSSports.com. There are locations all around Greater Houston that have copies of the magazine, and you can get your copy. It really is some great reading. A shout out to the coaches and the staff over at Northwestern up in Ohio. and they got copies of the magazine, and the staff, they say they were amazed and marveled at why no other. I mean, I explained, you got a lot of people don't realize no other city has this. So this is an advantage
And
for
Jimmy,
a lot of our kids.
I like to been in the show like I began it. Happy birthday. It would have been Bubba Griggs' birthday. You wasn't here, Jimmy. You wasn't on there. But a happy birthday to Bubba Griggs, where you rest in love and peace. Shout out to you today, brother. So that's it. I'm good. I'm out.
And also give a shout out to tomorrow,
What's that?
the 25th. That's the birthday of Chris Walker. So shout out to Chris Walker. Happy birthday. He's still doing all those NBA games. I mean, NCAA games. And he's in his second season right now. So Chris is trying to really make a splash with broadcasting the college games, because this will enable him to thrust him into his life after coaching. And on a serious note, he was doing it before, filling the gaps during the off season, but now he's really trying to get and get up in there. I mean, that to get some of those prime time games that you see on Saturdays and Sundays between top 10 program. That's what. And Chris is doing well in that. So you guys send a shout out to him or give him a tag on social media as well.
The James Gamble Classic too, Jimmy.
That's this weekend in Port Arthur. Yeah. Shout out, and Big Doug Jones will be down there covering that. They have a lot of the teams from a lot of the top state ranked teams will be playing in the Gamble Classic.
That's good.
Summer Creek, Westbury Christian, Port Arthur Memorial, just to name a few. But that's down in Port Arthur. There'll be actions going on, tournaments up in Dallas this weekend, the Allen tournament, the Whataburger tournament. That's where I plan to be at, covering those events as I did the last couple of years. There'll be a couple of tournaments still be going on in Houston. The Eric Medina Classic will be over in Pasadena. Not to mention the VIPE is doing one at the Campbell Center. And there's a couple of others that's taking place around Greater Houston. But if you want, it's a lot to do to fill your void or the gaps. If you find yourself getting bored, get out and go watch a little basketball. Meanwhile, hey, on behalf of Robert Haller, it's Jim Hicks. It's time to flip this lid, baby. It's time to go get it in. See you guys. Time to, hey, slide on down Dino's back, baby.
I'm out. Hey, Jimmy.
Yabba dabba do this thing. What kind of swing is that, boy?
Come on, man. You know I got that swing. We'll see y'all later, man.
Up out here. Chop, chop.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter.